What is the funniest thing a non-army has ever asked you? Or, what is the funniest situation you've ever been into with a non-army? Okay, so I was just introducing my parents to K-pop, although mainly to my mom because my dad takes a little longer to understand everything because he's older and a little hearing impaired. So I was just explaining to my mom how being a trainee in Korea works and what they have to learn and how hard it is and all that, taking BTS as an example. Suddenly my dad asks out of the blue, so they are getting trained in martial arts, and my mom and I went like, what art? Why for the love of God would a Korean boy group be trained in only martial arts for years? Like imagine BTS singing Boy With Love while gently yeeting each other off their feet. I love my dad. What the hell is Onyeon Haseo Jian and Bangtan Sunny Eondan Golden Maknae Jian Jungkook Imnida? Is it like a new fancy food trend? This is why I hate people and socializing. I was so excited because I've got a BTS poster, and I wanted to show it to my dad. And my dad knows their names, but he doesn't know how they look like. And my dad was like, I bet Jin is this Japanese guy. Is it Jin? And I'm like, no, he is Jimin and he is Korean, as everyone in the group. My dad, I mean Jimin, sorry. Me. Okay, who do you think is Jin? My dad, points at Jimin again. Me. Dad, this is the same guy. It's Jimin. My dad. Oh. Someone asked me if they were all brothers. Also once my cousin asked me why Jungkook looked like a coconut. I said, I don't know. But he does. When I was at home, I was on Pinterest, just scrolling down on their images. And then my mom came up to me randomly and asked me, what is the nationality of their CEO, out of all the questions she could have asked. Some time ago, I got myself a poster of Taehyung, so I put my baby on the wall. That evening when my dad walked in the room, he noticed it and asked me, who is that grandma? I was about to smack him, what the frick? My grandma came into my room one day and saw a poster of BTS on my wall. She started asking me if they were my friends. I said, I wish, and started looking at the poster. She told me that if I wanted to make friends I should, no matter who they are. And then I was like, Granny, they're famous. I showed her a music video for Save Me and she was like, why are your friends jumping around like they are crazy? Now she keeps asking me when are they coming over and telling me she wants to meet them. I say, I want Suga a lot to my friend as a joke and I forget she isn't army or even know their names. So I got a text a few hours later saying, I'm at the store. Do you want sugar cookies or actual sugar? I screamed. I was talking on the phone and mentioned K-pop. My mom heard me and asked, what is K-pop? I answered and told her about BTS and she was like, aha, and what does K-pop mean? Sklusselpop. She thought the K is key and translated it into German. I corrected her normally. But a few days later she told her friends I'm listening to the band Sklusselpop. Well, one of my friends told this to me, you like K-pop, right? Isn't K-pop the one that has 7 members? She thought K-pop was a band. Sis be living under a rock this whole time. Story time. This is probably the most hilarious conversation I've ever had with someone about BTS. First of all, my father is the king of sarcasm. And also he is stuck in the 70s when it comes to music. So once I was sitting with him and I asked him, do you know BTS? Then he confidently replied with, yes, this is the name of the company that makes insecticides. I sat there laughing like a horse for a whole minute until I calmed down and told him, no. Then he hit me with, yeah, this is the new airline company, right? I heard their services are good. His sarcastic facial expressions were pure gold. I burst into laughter once again. Then I told him, this is a Korean boy band that I love. Then I put on blood, sweat and tears and asked for his opinion. He said, not my style. So I played VS Merry Little Christmas and said, okay, what about their vocals? They're amazing, right? Then he jokingly said, I can sing better than him. Afterwards, my ears got blessed with the most beautiful vocals of my dad trying to sing an old classical Egyptian song called You Are My Life. I love my dad so much. The other day, my dad said to me, "Those K-pop boys you like, I saw them on crack." I was so confused, as you should be, because it was a rather unsettling statement. I asked him what he meant, and he pulled out his phone and showed me a video titled something like BTS on crack. He played the video and it turned out to be a compilation of the boys being a bunch of, well, crackheads. I snorted and told him that crack in those circumstances was pretty much a synonym for funny or hilarity. He shook his head and said, "He is definitely on crack." So my dad knows that I'm an army, but he doesn't know my bias. He thinks it's Jin. It's not, but no shade. And I mentioned that Jin had purple hair for a bit, and now whenever I mention the color purple, he says, like Jin's hair. Also my dad, when talking about J-Hope, and teaching him all of their names, KM, Jinmin, and J-Rock. The first one and the last one are accurate, but I think he said the middle one too. I have this edit of Namjoon as the Virgin Mary in my phone case, and the amount of people that have asked me if it's a picture of the actual Virgin Mary, like, is she an Asian man? And to make things worse, I go to Catholic school. I was showing my friend the Lights music video because I was bored and needed someone to appreciate the amazing piece of art that the Lights music video is, and she texted me back, "What kind of juice do they drink in South Korea?" So of course I was confused. So I asked what she meant. She said, "I mean they all look like angels from heaven and that's not normal, so what do they have in their juice?" I literally couldn't breathe. This is more of a comment instead of a question. But basically I have a wall filled with photo cards of them. Anyways, my mom came into my room and decided it would be funny to joke around about how they were my boyfriends, PFT I wish, and how they looked a lot like girls. I apologize for my ignorant mother. She pointed at a photo of Jungkook and was like, "He looks like a guy, but this person," points to another photo of Jungkook, "looks like a girl." Me, "Mom, that's the same person, Mom." Oh. Let's go back to the time when Seesaw was released and when our classic "she dropped the cheesecake" meme was discovered. Well, here goes my conversation with a dumb non-army cousin of mine. Cousin calls up, "Well, hey, listen up, there's a meme trending called 'she dropped the cheesecake.'" I couldn't exactly find how that meme became a trend, but all I heard is that it is one of K-pop band's meme. Is that true? Tell me about it, be a bit quick. Me, yeah. Well, it's a meme of this group I really like called BTS and cousin. Well, fast forward. Who dropped the cheesecake? Quick. And how did it happen? Question mark. Wait a minute. Is she right? Is BTS a mixed group? Did some female from BTS drop a cheesecake? You see, I'm in a situation where I gotta be smart with my BF and it's urgent, so tell me quick. How did it happen? Dart? Me. Good questions. You know what else? You will be honored an award from the army fandom if you happen to find the answer to it, since it's still a mystery, and if you happen to discover the answer behind the mysterious trend, please do share it with me too. Armies will be glad to hear it from you. Have fun finding which lady dropped the cheesecake from BTS. Good luck, mi amigo. A whole deadass cheesecake year later. When my non-army cousin isn't so non anymore. Not so non-army cousin. Well, I knew I was dumb and naive and impatient. You don't have to bring it up now, gosh. Flashback to 5 minutes earlier. It was her birthday, and coincidence or not, the cake she cut was a cheesecake and she legit half dropped the slice she was about to feed me 5 minutes after, and continues. Me, well, look who dropped the cheesecake. Also, when I was a non-army or non-K-poppy and my friend was, she had these BTS cartoon keychains with their names on them, and at the time we had a teacher named Joseph Hope. So I grabbed the J-Hope one and said, "J-Hope? Like Mr. Hope, haha," and she was like, "No, it's J-Hope. He's my bias and stuff." And I'm like, question mark. Whatever sis, and I was like, "So they are Korean musicians and stuff?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was just that typical non-army, non-poppy, asking all the basic questions. Sigh, little did I know, lol. Are they all really named Kim? Bruh, I know that 3 is a lot for you, but no. Non-K-pop friend to me and other K-pop friend, why are you always talking about soap? Like, whoa, it washes your body but it's not that cool. I'm a bartender. A customer saw my phone background, which is Yoongi, and asked, "Is that your boyfriend?" And I laughed. "Yeah, sure," thinking it was a joke. This was before Speak Yourself tour, and later on I told him that I'm going to London for their concert. When I came back to work from London, he asked, "So, did you meet your boyfriend in London? How was the concert?" And it turned out he literally thought Yoongi is my boyfriend, and about 20 of my customers also thought that he is my boyfriend because of that one joke. My friend and I started talking about jazzy music. She mentioned Michael Bublé and my other friend said, "Who's Michael Bublé?" A few minutes later, she looked at my wallpaper on my phone and said, "Is that Michael Bublé?" It was Jungkook. My friend once asked why BTS looks the same and how I could tell the difference. I gave him a look and pointed to each member, saying who was who. When I got to RM, he asked if RM stands for Ronald McDonald. A stupid classmate asked me once when I wore my BTS t-shirt if I support back to school videos. My friend was on my phone once and saw my searches. And she asked me, "What is an amtiddy?" I told her, "It's a crab pie." She still thinks that and asked her mom if she could make an amtiddy. What is sugar in English? Me, an innocent army with a J-Hope photocard, also a lesbian. Is that your boyfriend? Friend looking at my phone. Wow. I didn't know you were into anime. That's beautiful. HMM. I would say back then when I still couldn't remember their faces well yet, but I did like this Jungkook dude. So me and a bunch of friends, who are army, went to some store and we saw a bunch of BTS merch there. One friend of mine pointed out a pillow who has a certain face on it and said, "Hey Patty, look, it's your bias." I had the audacity to squint at the pillow and said, "Who's that?" That's Jungkook. My older brother plays Euphoria on Spotify. So is this the Neon Haseo Jungkook Imnida song? Me. Haha, what? My older brother. Okay, so when's the oh my part? Me. When I became an army and I told my mom, she thought that I got into some kind of gang. And when I say gang, I mean she thought that armies wear hoods and do rituals. One time my sister looked at Jin and just said, "That dude got some neck. Like damn, that's one hell of a neck. Is your friend Soap coming with us?" My friend texted me at 4 AM, just to ask me this: why are there holes in RM's face? I later found out she was talking about his dimples. One time my brother and I were watching BTS crack interviews, music videos, etc., as he wanted to learn more about BTS and their music. When we were watching the Epiphany comeback trailer, he said, "Which one is that? Wait, don't tell me. I got this. That's Yeontan, right?" In his defense, he didn't know all of the members yet. And we had watched the Bangtan Bomb where Yeontan visits a few videos prior, but I still found it funny. My grandmother, "So do they touch their crotch while dancing? I don't like that." Me, thinks about blood, sweat and tears choreography. Also me. No, they don't. I had Yoongi as my background and she asked me if that's my boyfriend. I'm a lesbian. Why do you call Jungkook your father? I was talking to my army friends and showed them a pic of Cookie winking and said, "Oh my god, Jian Jungkook is trying to murder me. He is too hot. He is such daddy material." And my sister was like, "What are you saying?" So I said, "Jian Jungkook is my dad." And my mom looked at me in a disappointing way and said, "I don't remember that happening." My mom to this day does not understand how I could know about a band from Korea in Europe. It seems the internet is still a mystery to her. My mom once asked me which one was called K-pop. I actually squeaked. "You're a part of BTS fandom? I didn't expect you to join a cult. Aren't you Catholic?" One time I was playing Superstar BTS and my little brother came behind me and said, "Is that your BTS Daddy app? What is the funniest thing a non-army has ever asked you about BTS?" Story time. So I was doodling in school and I ended up writing Hoseok's name while doodling. I had drawn a puppy. A girl looked over at my copy and asked me if my dog's name is Hoseok. I said yes. She still thinks I have a dog named Hoseok. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have friends to ask me questions like in the comments. My brother calls J-Hope, Zhangzhou say. "Why is it hot in here?" My 14-year-old sister asked her she watch The Perfect Man cover with me for the first time, while for me it was about the millionth time. Wait, so you're in the army? You love him? Go marry him, my father. I was like, I wish it is easy like that, Dad.